Did it leave you broken? Just speak it out. And left you so confused? Oh, share it with us. It encouraged you, build up someone. And did you love it? Oh, please don't be here. Whatever it is, encourage someone. Right here on Let Out Show. This is the Let Out Show.
Hello my viewers, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching us from. This is the Let Out Show, where we bring different people with different stories to just let you know that even your own story can take a turnaround. And to also remind you that you can do all things, absolutely all things, through Christ who is your strength. And welcome to February. Oh wow, the month of love, the month of red roses, flowers, chocolate, and anything beautiful around love. Romance, mention it. You know it better. You know the dinners, candlelit dinners. Some get proposals that time. So it's a month full of so many activities that revolve around love. And guess what? The Let Out Show has gone all out to ensure that we bring you an exclusive love edition in the entire month of February. And one thing we shall be focusing on is the vows that are taken in weddings by newlywed couples. I know that most of us, if not all of us, we have attended a wedding and we have seen how couples gladly take vows. But question is, do they really understand the intensity of these vows? The probable answer here is no. Reason being, they have not experienced any extreme negative of such vows. For example, financial crisis or even health deterioration. But they take these vows before God and man. So I want us to focus on these vows and ask ourselves, why is it that at times you take the vows and a few months down the line, a few years down the line, these vows are broken? And the guest who is going to address this topic of vows, and today we shall be reflecting on for better, for worse, and in health and in sickness. And the person, my guest for today, who will be handling this, it's a very renowned Iron Lady. She is an amazing MC. Her skills are unmatched. Her techniques, they are unrivaled. I call her an Iron Lady. And she is also a family counselor. She is a kind of a lady who is going to attend to a family issue, and that family will be left healed and even restored. And in our show today is none other than Wanjiru Kiama. Karibu sana ma'am.
Asante sana Bubu.
Good to have you in this show.
Thank you.
Asante sana ma'am for coming. I know that you're very, very busy.
Yeah.
You have a lot of things that you do, but you have squeezed in your time to come and grace this show and even to address our viewers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm really humbled. Na karibu sana to the Let Out Show.
Asante sana.
So ma'am, I know I've mentioned about emceeing and counseling. What else do you do, ma'am?
I do motivational talks in churches, in schools, and I talk to teachers, students, and parents of schools. I work with a radio called Gokena FM. That's where I do the family talks on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And I'm happy. The Lord has worked with me because alone I cannot make it. He has been faithful, and I want to love him more.
Amen.
Because he's so great.
Amen.
And his grace has been sufficient to me.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you so much, ma'am. So I want you to address this issue of vows. I know it's February, it's the month of love, and of course love basically leads to marriage, and then marriage, there are vows that needs to be taken. Now in this month of love, I want us to talk about vows. There are people who take vows before God and man so happily, and even some, they mean it from their hearts. But sometime down the line, after they get married, they forget the vows and even they end up parting. What causes this?
Unfortunately, weddings today have become shows. instead of thinking about vows, you're thinking of how great our wedding will be and what people will see and how great it will be, until you forget that above all that, everything will end on the wedding day and marriage will start. And that is where you're supposed to act onto your vows. Yeah. So when you do this merrymaking, honeymoon, all that, people tend to forget the vows. And vows are very important. There is even a secular singer, Kenny Rogers. He has sung, the vows go unbroken. And you still know I do. It is he's repeating his vows because he knows the importance of vows. And he's promising his girl or whoever that I'll be true to you. Always true to you. That's not a joke. If you look at that man when he was singing that song, he meant exactly that. But some of our young people concentrate on the wedding day and the MC and the DJ and the who, but that church part tends to evaporate. And the Bible says you better not vow than vow and not fulfill. And there is a blessing in keeping the vows. And I'm a witness. Wow. You are aware I've stayed with a sick husband for 18 years. And he has never become a lesser man. He's still the high priest of my home. I feed him, I dress him, I buy medicine for him because of that part of the vow that I said, in health and in sickness. Some are even out there, they are thrown out because they are sick. Others are thrown out because they are not giving birth, the girls. Others are thrown out because they've been sacked. Kwanza wakati wa COVID, mambo yalisimama. Wengi waliachana. Just because they did not take the vows seriously. Like now, from now this week, vows will be remembered. Because I want to be taken to that evening candlelit dinner. And so if I was calling him, where? I would start, babes.
Yeah. Bribing your way out.
So it's like we tend to fake everything. I wish people can know what vows mean and take them seriously. And that is why I was talking to a lady just a few minutes ago, and she told me that she is going for her gurario. Nikamwambia ukiona ukifanyiwa gurario, you have become a faithful wife. You have become a good woman. That's why your husband wants to give you a token of going to cut the kiande for you. So vows, if it is the Bible that says you better not vow than vow and not fulfill, it means you have annoyed God if you don't keep the vows.
Exactly.
And it is so sad that I've witnessed weddings that are done and that man is wedding the girl or the wife while a girlfriend is seated in the same church. Yani tumechezea Mungu mpaka ameshindwa la kufanya na sisi. And that is why so many homes look confused. Kwa sababu you should not joke around with God.
Exactly.
Let us keep our vows. Shida zikija, communicate. And I always say, if you want your marriage to succeed, learn to communicate. Ukikosewa, sema. Ukifanyiwa mazuri, sema. Don't take it like it is a right. You have brought a dress, and instead of saying thank you, unauliza your husband, who told you I wear red? Ama ilikataa msichana mwingine ndio unaniletea. You know, it's like you have forgotten that this is the guy you said, I will love you until death do us part. Yeah. So at least I'm happy that part of vows I've been able to keep.
At least you have been able to keep.
And I'm happy about it because if you keep the vows, God works with you.
Amen.
And people are left wondering what is happening in our life.
Because God is so much.
He works with you and you see it.
You see His
and
face,
others see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've never lacked medicine. I've never lacked food.
Yeah.
Jobs come like this so that I don't miss.
Yeah.
Who does that?
It's
God.
only God. That can never.
He works for me.
Amen. That is really amazing. And so that exactly your statement transits me to the next question. Now, Mom, based on your own life experience, explain to us this vow in sickness and in good health.
Yes. And that is exactly what I've done for 18 years. My husband got sick 18 years ago. And I look back and see like it's yesterday. Because if you make a man happy, he will always say, God bless you. And who is a man in the home? A high priest. The carrier of blessings. The carrier of seeds. Ukiolewa, you unite with your husband, you'll become pregnant. But who determines the sex of that boy or the girl? It's the man. So he has 3 very good titles that make you look at him like a king. But what do we do, women? Immediately we get into that house, you start madharau. Unaitwa unanyamaza. Unaingia kwa nyumba, alitaka chai, anauliza hakuna chai, unamuuliza kama alikuja na maziwa. You are the helper. Come with the milk. Just asking for money. Men are very good at giving money. But you cannot tell him to come with maziwa. He won't remember. So, this one of looking after a sick person. I know of a man also who has taken care of his wife for a very long time. And the guy is blessed. God works with you. Especially we women, we don't know the secret. If you please the man in the house and you have never seen God, you please God and he blesses you and your children. Yes.
Wow.
So wakati kuna shida, wacha tuseme sickness, wacha tuseme kufutwa kazi, ama retire. Like me now, I'm retired. But I'm taking care of myself because God has enabled me. I told you I have an office. I don't know the clients who come. They just come. Because God has directed them there. There is a daughter of mine who takes care of the vows. And I'm priest with her. Go there and see her and pay. So that she is able to pay for that office and other things. I have seen God. And I'm telling ladies out there, if you want to be blessed, start with your high priest. Take good care of him. The other day, on another platform, I was talking about ED, erectile dysfunction, where the man's organ is unable to work. And some are thrown out of the house. And this is a matter of diet. This is a matter of convincing him to go to the hospital. This is a matter of encouraging him. But some of us withdraw and run away. And go to look for other men. We are cursed.
Instead of establishing what's the problem and what can be the solution.
Yes. If a man hears you telling him, kula hii iko na zinc itakusaidia kule ile mambo. He feels like a king.
Wow.
But when you tell him, now what kind of a man are you? Was I coming to suffer sexually?
Oh, no.
You will have killed him.
Yeah, you tear him apart completely.
Yeah. But this, I'm telling you, this week, from next week to 14th, haha, sweet language. Babes, can I come with a shirt for you? Babes, why can't it continue all the way?
It should be a lifetime.
Yeah, it's a lifetime.
Wow. And so, Mom, what happened to your husband and how has the journey been?
He got unwell, and he was very far, and I went for him, and I took him to the hospital, and we were given a number of clinics. You very know well I was living in Nyeri, but I transferred to Nairobi so that he does not get tired moving to Nairobi always for clinics. And that is how we came to Nairobi. I always say I came to Nairobi like Abraham. I didn't know where I was going.
But you just went.
I came by faith and said, kama Abraham alionyeshwa pale atakaa hata mimi. And you have heard me talking about how I got a house, a big house, how I got a transfer, which is very difficult. But with God, I got it in 1 week. So that is why I'm saying, you show God that you are working on this God of a small g. And the God of capital G watches over you. God is watching from a distance and listening to you and making Angel Gabriel and Michael to work on you.
Amen.
Gabriel is sent. Some evil spirits try to block, and Michael comes and smashes them and brings what is supposed to come to you. Just because you have honored vows.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. So now, what have been the specific challenges that you've gone through with the condition of your husband? And now you being now the sole breadwinner, being now like you're the one in charge of all the bills in the house. And how have you been managing your husband in case now he gets probably unwell and he gets to a point he's unmanageable? As a woman, how have you been handling that?
Prayer. When you see things are difficult, kuwa na kona moja ya kuombea. Lock yourself there and tell God. I always remembered Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious of anything. And in prayer and supplication, let it be known by God. And you shall have peace that surpasses any understanding. I have had peace. And just when I'm about to get broke, God sends somebody. Imagine.
Wow.
Especially these days, I'm amazed that I'm getting even help from people in diaspora, people I don't know.
And they just come through for you.
Yes.
What?
The other night, a lady tells me, I'm sending you 50K. I want you to cancel my family.
That's provision.
And that 50K, utajisaidia na uwa cancel. Yeah.
And that's how God has been coming through for you.
That is how God comes.
Yeah, so I'm sure my viewer right now, they're curious. They're wondering, you're keeping on mentioning sickness. Maybe, I don't know whether you'd be comfortable to tell us.
Very.
What exactly happened to your husband, where he was sick, alafu tupeleke step by step from the time he felt sick, ukaenda ukamwendea, mkarudi Nairobi, step by step, utueleze the whole story.
Yeah, my husband got sick out of witchcraft, and he became completely a madman. Okay. And in that confusion, I knew I was the only one. If I didn't go for him, he would be there, Kanyago na Magari. And he has given me 4 very good kids. Wow. And my last borns are twins. Wow. And those are my parents. And he used to take care of us. He was a good man before he went those sides. So when I was called and told he was sick, nothing else but to go for him. But I want to tell the ladies, if you want to be able to help your man, hata kama amekukosea, forgiveness. Forgiveness brings healing. When you forgive, you forget and you heal. And now you take him like a patient, like a disabled man, because when akili imeharibika, you are disabled. So, first of all, I forgave him. Then I started working on him. And I got a very good psychiatrist who took care of him. I always mention her, Mrs Omondi. A God-fearing psychiatrist who worked with me. Wow. And to date, he's still in the house and doing well.
So, nani anaweza kuwa alikuwa amemtupia that mauchawi?
I always tell men, tosheka na wale uko nao. Wale wanafanya hivyo si wengine, ni my girlfriends.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he was at work.
Do you know I ignored that story? People try to tell me he had a girlfriend, nikasema, all I'm interested in is my man. Whoever was behind that one, I leave them to God. So I didn't get deep into it, but I could hear. Yeah. But that didn't
You didn't listen to them.
Bother me. All I wanted was this man to get well. I forgave him. And that's why I was able to take him all the way. And I've been feeding him and giving him everything he wants.
So how have you been managing that mental condition of his? At times, because I believe with that mental condition, at times there could be episodes whereby he's uncontrollable, and there are times you as a human being, and in as much as your heart is so full to help, mtu anafika mahali unafika mwisho, unasema pana, like, do you ever get to that point ya kusikia umechoka, and how did you handle some episodes that were uncontrollable?
I think as a human being, he also appreciated.
Okay.
Because even when my church members used to come to see him, he would give a testimony that she's called Esther. She got me from Egypt to Canaan.
Oh.
Can you imagine? And he's not saved. But he knows that the Israelites suffered in Canaan, in Egypt, and they came out. Now he says he's in Canaan. That's a testimony.
It is.
That he's appreciating. And he has never been violent. Imagine.
Okay.
I told God to help me to give him a spirit of obedience. If I give him medicine like this. And you remember when I was preaching at Embassy House, at Maximum Miracle, one time I said that he would sometimes refuse medicine, and I would sing romantic songs for him. And there's one he loved very much of Judy Butcher, and I would sing. And when I sing, that night we met, I'll never forget that night we kissed. Akisikia kissed anasema leta dawa.
Akisikia kiss anachangamka.
Kiss, yes. And that is why I tell people, be romantic with your spouse. You never know of tomorrow. Now Nina mentioned, and because there are kisses, he remembers.
Wow, that is very interesting because I want to ask you another question. Actually, that has triggered another question. So how has he been maybe romantically...
before he was sick?
No. After he was sick, did it affect his romance and everything?
His love life, it's like ilienda chini.
Okay.
And he forgot. So he sees me as a housemate. And I'm okay.
And you're just okay with that? Because now he's your husband.
Because before that, I don't think there was a romantic, sexy couple like us.
Hey, tell us more, tell us more.
So it's like God knew we would miss it sometime. And we got enough.
You did it full 100,
yes.
Full blast.
You know, people don't like talking about that.
We are talking about them. This stuff we have to talk about.
But I don't regret because I had the best.
Yes.
I had the best man. This guy could go to the market to buy fruits. He didn't care.
Wow.
This guy used to sell in a butchery. He was a supplier of meat in schools. And the fillet and the oxtail belonged to the family. Wow. By the way, I was a slender girl. So how can you not go for such a man?
Definitely.
Hata kama amefanya nini. Wanaume pendeni bibi zenu. You don't know of tomorrow.
Exactly. You don't know.
Be close to your wife. Don't go for mipango ya kando and give them plots. And your wife has nothing. Utaletwa na paper bag.
Because that.
And where will you go? Yeah, if you are not a friend of your wife now when you are normal, how can you become a friend of your wife when you are sick?
Tell them again.
Yes.
Say that again
to
them.
You start friendship from the day of your honeymoon.
Yes.
And you continue. Because I, as a wife, can get sick. If I have been mistreating you, you're the man, you just go and look for another woman. The man, kama umekuwa hata uangalii bibi, how do you expect to come home and be taken care of? And I tell men, be a friend of everything. The puppies, the cows, the dogs. Because there's a day they will all watakugomea.
Kabisa.
Yeah. Unaona ng'ombe anaenda kula majani kwa shamba, unamwambia wewe. Ng'ombe anauliza huyu ni nani sasa amekuja kusema wewe na sijamuona hapa.
You know, Mom, there's this thing about men. They always say that they love peace. Hawatakangi kusumbuliwa. And something I've been asking myself is, maybe mzee amenikosea ama amekukosea. Sasa ukienda tu kumuuliza softly, there are men who just shut because wanasikia kama confrontation. Wengine wanasema, I hate being confronted. So, will an issue never be solved ama wanatakanga nini sasa?
Then how are they like God? Imagine the way we disturb God. And God said, let us make a man like us.
Yeah.
So a man is there to be disturbed. In fact, this morning I was on Gokena radio and I said, tumelipa fees na watoto wameenda, lakini tumeachwa hatuongeleshani. Naitisha bwana sukari aniuliza, kichwa yako ni mzuri, unaniitisha sukari na nimelipa fees. All that is you are supposed to provide. And I must disturb you the way I disturb God. How are you like God? So wacha waache kusema spendi kelele, wacha asikize. Tumeumbwa na kelele.
That's how we were created.
Because of our mother Eve.
Yeah.
She came much later after Adam. And so she didn't know anything. So every three, Adam, hii inaitwaje? Adam, hii inakuliwa. Adam, twende hivi. Adam, ni njia gani? So we got very many words and they should understand that. And all that time Adam was quiet listening. So after she was through, anamwambia hii ni mukema. Hii inaitwa nugunugu. So let them not say, me, I just keep quiet because this noise of women is too much. Noise is good. There's even a secular musician who said he's missing the voice noise. Noise is good. Yeah.
Wow.
So, a woman, mwanamke asipoongea atakuwa mgonjwa.
But now you find that there are men who literally block, like ukienda kumuuliza swali hata anaweza rudi kwa hiyo nyumba even 5 in the evening.
Unless he's a narcissist. Narcissists always think about themselves. And they don't want to be disturbed. It is either their way or the highway. And that is where he goes.
Okay.
Yeah, now ukiona is a narcissist, help him to get help.
Okay.
So that, because how can you live in a house without communication, surely?
No.
Yeah.
No way.
You can't.
Yeah.
So learn to talk. Learn to talk about any topic. Even like now, this time of Valentine, discuss. How should you want me to make you happy? How do you feel? What would you want?
Have a discussion.
Discuss even that sex. Discuss the children. Discuss your money. Yeah.
Basically everything.
Communication.
It's very key.
And when you communicate, like now when I was talking of that topic, by the way, I've received so many calls from men because I said I have a supplement that can add nguvu za kiume.
Yes.
They are calling even from the US. And I'm ready to help them.
Yeah.
Because that you add happiness to their families.
Yes.
And because it is there, why shouldn't I?
Yeah, definitely. You
Yeah.
come through.
Zingine ni ubongo. I have those for enhancing the brain. So when the brain is okay, the man you perform anything he's told. Hata kukata nyasi kule, the fence.
Yeah.
In the bedroom he'll be very active because his mind.
His brain is functioning properly.
That is it.
Okay. Now, right now in this moment of Valentine's, there is a group of people who are going to go through a lot of pressure. And it's going to be the most terrible time for them. And these are the single people, and especially if they are senior single people. Watakuwa under pressure so much because watakuwa wanaona people are just being taken out, being bought flowers, and everything good about love. To a point that sasa utakuta mtu mwenye ana feel ako single, they can even compromise their standards to just pick just whoever is just close, you know, anyone who is just there and you know you don't love that person and this person doesn't have any right intentions for you. But then, because of the pressure around this month especially, they'll find themselves doing the things that are not even right, wrong choices. How can you advise such ladies and gentlemen? If
you are engaged, that is a time you can go and discuss. How many children are we going to get? On Valentine's Day, it's good. Lakini wengine wanavaa hata red and white. And inside them, they hate each other.
Yeah.
Some, even as we talk, are sleeping in different bedrooms and they are married. And they said vows. You know, some say, me, I didn't go to church to say vows. Vows are whatever you told your friend.
Yes.
Kwanza hizo za makeja, kule mlioana kwa makeja. Mnaambiana mahangai sitakuacha, afadhali nikufe kama sitakuacha. Those are vows and God was a witness.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't say me sikuenda church. Wengine walienda kwa Attorney General, you know what you said. Yeah.
And you know, Mom, nowadays, marriage beds have been defiled. Marriages have been defiled.
Kabisa.
Nowadays, a married man will take a single lady, and it is not even a big deal. There is nothing wrong with that. And the single lady says, okay, he's just being my, friends with benefits. what is happening with the current day and age? Because kitambo, I want to believe that marriages were highly respected. But nowadays, a married man having a single lady, or rather a girlfriend from away from, I mean, outside the matrimonial boundaries, it is a norm. Mom, what is happening to our society?
Number one, hakuna kuogopa Mungu anymore. We are Christian, Bwana asifiwe.
We are under grace.
Yes. And others have what we call unmet what? Expectations. Once they get married, because I put my best foot forward, when I bring the other foot, you start seeing, hisi nilikuwa naangalia.
Okay.
And he goes out. Then our men, na ninawaambia wafuge midomo, they go to tell those girls the weaknesses of their wives. So this girl is wise. She will enhance what she's being told is missing at home. And so this man you pass by every day because this one is better. She's not better. Is wewe ulipeleka mdomo yako kumwambia mambo ya your wife. My wife puts a lot of water in food. Anapika wet. Dry fry. And then you're saying, as you eat. Sasa kesho ni fish. And I'll buy. Inaendelea hivyo, you have forgotten your home.
Mwingine anamwambia she's a terrible kisser.
Yeah.
Kanaenda kana master the skills.
Yes. Ama anamwambia huyo wangu na watoto na maziwa. Amejimwagilia maziwa all over. This girl has never given birth.
Yes.
And by the way, I pity men because I have noted that those that they call girlfriends have about 5 men for different things. Na watu kuwa wagonjwa imekuwa so much. Masikia kuna gonorrhea iponi. Super gonorrhea. Kwa sababu kuna wa maji, kuna wa nywele, kuna wa nini? Wa food, kuna 5 men. And they never collide. Kiingia unajisikia you are the king of the prince of the house. But you are 5. So better the devil you know.
Yes.
Than an angel you don't?
You don't know. Because atakatakuletea magonjwa hapo.
Na kaende. Kwanza kuna mzee kwetu aligojeka akiwa kwa girlfriend. By the way, and he had a car. Imagine aliwekwa kwa gari, akaja akawekwa kwa stairs kwa nyumba ya bibi yake na nguo, akaachwa hapo.
What?
He had HIV. So the wife alienda akanunua hizi sheets kwa mutumba akakatakata, alikuwa anamfunga hizo. Why wait to be brought when you can't even move? Na raha yako yote umetumia huko na wasichana. Surely even men, the things they do. Love your wife. Why does Proverbs say, and it is King Solomon, alikuwa amejaribu wanawake wengi lakini mwishowe alisema tosheka na matiti ya bibi ya ujana wako. Why? Ametembea huko akaona it is all vanity of vanities. Others bring inaleta kifo. Hivi karibuni tumeona gari imeingia kwa damu.
Imagine.
What is that? Tumeweka Mungu macho, vidole kwa macho mpaka he is very annoyed with marriages. And you know when marriages are not happy, the children are not happy.
Yeah.
And the church will not be happy. The schools. Because those kids will not perform.
Yeah.
When they are home, ni vita. I wish you can go back to the first love.
You have totally disrespected
Kabisa. We don't care. That is why I would renew my wedding and my girlfriend is in the same church.
And after honeymoon, I'll come and pick the girl. We continue with our relationship.
Of course. She might even go with us to Mombasa.
But a different hotel.
She's in a different hotel. So I'll be telling my babes, let me see the manager.
And then the manager, he goes to the manager.
Yes.
But I think what men are hiding behind is the fact that wanajuanga we are polygamous in nature.
They believe that.
Ati I'm only obeying the rule of nature. I'm polygamous. I'm not sinning.
But even the girls themselves are saying with their mouths, I don't mind being the other woman. So they don't mind being the second wife.
Okay.
Yeah. Unasikia akikuuliza Wakiama, what's wrong with that? I have my money. I'll stay in my house. He will be coming. I'll be telling him to go and see the wife. So, no big deal.
And it has become a norm in our society.
Imejaa.
But about being second wives, what would you say about that? Is it godly or what is it?
You see, before the Mzungu came with Christianity, the African culture was, you can have 4, you can have 3, you can have, na ukiangalia umeona wazee wetu wamerudisha hizo vikundi za wazee. Na inasemekana ukifanya hii gurario ya bibi, huyo bibi huwezi mfukuza, but you are allowed to marry another one.
Yes.
So what our men are saying is that before I became a Christian, I was an African. I was a Kikuyu before I became a Christian. And what Kikuyu did, I will do. What will you tell him? Me, I tell them, it's okay. Choose to do that, but choices have consequences.
Exactly.
We won't argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
But as far as Jesus is concerned, he said, one wife, one man, one wife. That is now the Christian part.
Yeah.
But what will you tell that man who is telling you he was a Kikuyu before him? Unaangalia unaona ni kama kweli. And I don't want to fight with culture because I have been, I've traveled.
Yeah.
And I've seen that even those Israelites never leave their culture. Even the Britons, they have their culture. They came and told us our culture is evil. When they came to preach, yeah, they only allowed us tobacco so that we could listen to them. But later they said, no, this is bad, this is satanic, and we believed. So now what do? We just wait for those who are choosing to do that one. Wataambiana na Mungu wao the last day.
Yeah.
And that one should not disturb me. And that one should not disturb you. But if you are a Christian, you would want to have your man, one man, and one wife. Go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because it's actually a very safe way to take.
Yes.
Because hakuna magonjwa. So I have a friend of mine who got married, and after he got married, he realized that he doesn't love this girl. And he loved another girl. Na pete iko wapi?
Kwa kidole.
Vows ashasema. Sasa this guy alianza sasa kwenda kutafutana nako kasichana. Sasa alikuwa anasema, I divorced this lady. Mark you, they were not even 3 months old in their marriage. What happens to that caliber of people? Why would someone get married alafu tena baadaye na realize, I think this is not the person I loved?
Because some of them are meeting at Kuiva there wakikunywa pombe.
Yes.
Anaambiana nimekunoki. Umeninoki twende. They go to their house of the guy. One thing leads to another. Sex.
Yes.
Baby. Ako pregnant. You don't want to let her down. But you don't love her. Yeah. You didn't even court. You didn't know each other.
Okay.
So missing courtship is the one that makes you realize later that you didn't love her. But let's say you have courted for 2 years. What don't you know about that person?
Actually, you know everything.
So it will work. Lakini hii short ya kwenda tumeonana kwa mapombe, kwa madisco, kwa nini, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So in conclusion of this show today, I want you to talk to the newly married couples when they don't know hii safari ya ndoa. I know you've been married for so many years. And insist on them on the beauty and on the power of keeping their vows.
Marriage is a journey. And a journey has valleys and hills. You've got to walk and down and up. So marriage is not, we can call it a bed of roses. Yeah. Roses are beautiful, but they have thorns. Okay. Kuna wakati wa kudunga-dungwa. Discuss it and talk about it. Because you are human beings. Yeah. And I want to tell the newly married something. That nobody gets Mr. Perfect. Nobody gets Miss Perfect. Yeah. You get raw material called Bobo. And Bobo gets raw material called Steve. And you build each other. Yes. If you want a cool husband, smart husband, husband who looks healthy, it is you. Yes. If he wants a lady who is size 8, who is stress-free, It is him.
Okay.
So the newly married, I want to tell them that don't go looking for the perfect things. Look for the negative things so that you help him to build,
Yes.
to make the weaknesses strengths.
Yes.
Because all of us have strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
But if you go looking for the negatives, you never succeed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just know you got somebody who has strengths and weaknesses. And you can help his weaknesses to become strengths.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You've heard it from our very good guest, Wanjiru Kiama. She has been very patient with her husband, and all those years, 18 years, she has mentioned of the husband being unwell. She has kept the vow of for richer, for poorer, and in sickness and in health. We are in the Valentine's season. You married man, take your wife out. Leave that girlfriend alone. Take care of your wife. You never know what lies ahead. You might need her, just like our guest today, Wanjiru Kiama. Her husband really needed her, and she took care of him. I mean, she has continued to take good care of him up to date, and now he is a very, very happy man. And anytime that she leaves the house, the man blesses him. And remember, despite his condition, he still remains the priest, and he's of that house, and he still remains to be the bearer of the blessing of that family. Men, it is up to you to take care of your wives. And wives, submit to your husbands. Love them, compliment them, listen to them. Do not be the reason why he fails to come home because you never give him peace. Be a source of peace in that family. The Bible says that a stupid woman breaks her house with her own hands, but a wise woman builds her own house with her own hands. So decide, are you going to be a wise woman or the opposite of the wise woman? I have been your host, Rose Wamboi. Until the next time, please keep it the Let Out Show in this February exclusive live edition. Bye-bye.
This is the Let Out Show.